All right, we're here at the office, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to be a chiropractor on yourself. So stay tuned and watch the entire video, first of all, because it helps me with the algorithm. But the reality is, because I'm gonna give you a lot of good information of whether you should be doing different things on yourself. Here we go. So of course this is no secret because it's all over the internet and stuff. So I'm just gonna show you how to crack the neck, the middle back, and the lower back. So let's start with the neck. So here's what you'll see a lot of times, and this will produce a lot of cracks. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your hand, put it behind your head, and you can grab your hair or just cup your hand like this in a C shape to get the back of your neck, because you're gonna need some leverage. And then what you'll do is you'll take your palm, this part right here, and the best leverage that you can get would be to put on the side of your chin. And what you'll do is you just want a rotary type of motion. So you would go here, and as you push with this hand, you pull with this hand. So you just go just to the end of where it stops and just give a little twist like that, and you'll very often hear a lot of cracking noise going on. So what you will do is you will do one way and then do the other way. If you hurt, if it's uncomfortable, very likely a person is pushing very, very hard. So just be careful when you do that. Now the middle back is a little more difficult, and what you need is a chair such as one of these. And what you're looking for is a chair that has a soft back here that's actually low. For example, these chairs, these are too high. These sit almost where your neck is, and these chairs right here, the back is really low. So that's what you want in order to crack your middle back. Let me show you. So you can see what I'm doing right here, and I'm going to arch my back backwards over the back of the chair. You're going to use your arms to extend backwards, and very often you will get a lot of significant cracks in your back. What you can do is you can slouch down or sit up straight to get different areas of your back. So let me just say I want to thank the people at BioOptimizers for sponsoring this video. This is what helps me produce good content for you. And so this is Masszymes, and this is a great product, especially if you're eating good food, you're eating organic food, you're eating grass-fed meat, and you do need, sometimes as you get older, just some enzymes, and that's what this product is for. So I'm gonna put a link down in the description. Make sure and hit that link. You're gonna get a 30-day supply for free. You're also gonna get a free book, and the title of the book is From Sick to Superhuman. And thirdly, you'll get a copy of their new book, The Carnivore Cookbook. Normally all of this is $65, but it's totally free. All you have to do is pay the small nominal shipping charge. So you pay the shipping charge. Everything that I just mentioned, the 2 books and 30-day supply of mass enzymes, totally free. Now for the lower back, what you're gonna need is you're gonna need to do this on a bed or table. And I'm just gonna use my chiropractic table here, but it doesn't really matter. What you wanna do to adjust the lower back is to make sure that you're comfortable. So I'm gonna use a pillow. Let me get a pillow here. And because if the neck, surprisingly, if the neck, and I do this a lot in my chiropractic practice, is if the person has any tension in the body at all, like their neck is tight, it's gonna be very difficult to adjust the lower back. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna lie down on your side and you're gonna let your legs fall off the edge of the table. You will twist your spine so that your elbow and your arm go back in the opposite direction. Now this is actually a very good stretch, and I like to stretch people prior to an adjustment because it makes the adjustment more comfortable when I do it to patients. But if you want to try to adjust your lower back, what you can do is you can see I'm taking my palm and I'm gonna push on those little dimples on the back of your lower back, right above the buttocks. And very often when you do this, you'll get a significant crack of the lower back. All right, so now you know how to crack your neck, your middle back, and your lower back, and wonderful. There's a problem. Why should you not do this? I'm going to give you 3 arguments as to why you should not do this. And it should go without saying there's a disclaimer down below. You should read that disclaimer before you ever attempt anything you see on YouTube. So let's just get into it. What's number 1? Well, number 1 is a crack is not an adjustment. It's interesting because sometimes people say, oh, I'm a chiropractor, I can adjust myself. No, you can't. You just can't. Just because you can make a little noise come out of a joint does not mean you're a chiropractor. When you crack your own spine, what's very often happening is it's just a matter of these little bubbles of nitrogen gas. When you stretch the joint, they just come together and they happen to cavitate and make a noise. That's all that's happening when there's a cracking noise. It's nothing more. An adjustment is where you're taking a joint that has fibrosis or an adhesion attached to the joint capsule and it's not moving well. And the adjustment is where you have to use some type of force, whether it's gentle or aggressive, to free up that joint and restore good joint motion. It just so happens when you do that with some certain types of adjustments that a cavitation occurs. So when you do an adjustment, those bubbles come together just as if you were just doing random cracking of the spine. So an adjustment is totally different than what I just showed you on this video. I mean, just because you have a knife and you can make an incision into the skin, that doesn't make you a surgeon. Number 2, another reason why you should not be doing these things that I just showed in the video is because over a period of time, the way that I showed you how to do these, you're gonna start to create strain and stress and damage to the cartilage and ligaments of your spine. Ligaments are like rubber bands that hold the spine tightly together and allow proper motion to occur, but then your body can actually come back to its neutral posture. Cartilage is on the ends of 2 bones where it's almost like someone poured olive oil on a Tupperware. That's what it actually looks like and feels like in the body. Well, when you start to damage that, that leads to early stage arthritis. And ligaments and cartilage, I know you probably think that you can just regrow it back as if the body naturally wants to regrow tissue, but we're not salamanders. We can't just grow stuff back. Some damage to our body is irreversible. For example, when you see a football player and he tears his ACL and his MCL, those things just don't grow back. Once you damage ligaments, very often if it's a grade 3 tear of a ligament, the only way to restore that ligament partially back to normal would be to have surgery. Number 3, the final reason why you should not be doing what I just showed in the video is because it is literally impossible to adjust a joint that's fixated and is lacking its proper motion by doing the moves that I just showed you. When you do those moves, the freely movable joints are the ones that are actually making the cracking noise, not the one that's lost its range of motion or is fixated and stiff. In order to adjust the fixated segment, you need to position the body in such a way and then use focalized pressure on that fixated joint in order to make it move. So when you start cracking areas that are actually already freely movable, you're straining the ligaments, you're damaging the cartilage, and then you see the body doesn't like this. So over time, your body's gonna start creating what's called hypertonic muscular tension. And that's your body's natural way to try to protect and splint these damaged areas that you're creating. Thus, this is exactly why when you crack your own neck, it feels really good, there's an endorphin release, but 20 minutes later, your muscles are tightening up again. So you crack it again, gives an endorphin release. There's a temporary relaxation of the area, it feels good, but then 20 minutes later, your muscles tighten up yet again. The other thing about adjusting areas that are fixated and the impossibility of doing it yourself is that certain areas are easier to adjust than others. For example, adjusting C5 is much easier than adjusting T1. The sacroiliac joint, any chiropractor can adjust the sacroiliac joint. It's a matter of skill, but adjusting L5, now that is a challenge. So the point is, adjustments take training, take years of training, and it's an ongoing thing to try to get better and better at it. It's like being a professional athlete. No one is ever satisfied with their golf swing or how they swing a baseball bat. They're always trying to improve. Here's the bizarre thing. It took me about 10 years of practice. Now, I was in chiropractic school for 4 years, 10 years of practice, so it took me about 14 years before I really started to get confident about adjusting an L5 on any size individual. It was a skill that developed over time. So I, at first, sucked entirely at adjusting L5. Then I started to get good at people that were easy to adjust, thinner people. Then, as time went on in practice, you start to accumulate more and more patients, more and more experience. But then there's always those patients that are difficult to adjust. Those people that are, 385 pounds and you only weigh 145 or something like that. So that was impossible. And it took years and years and years of practice to develop the skill to adjust the actual area where a person needs it. Sure, you could twist anyone and make a crack happen. Sometimes people don't even know how to tell the difference, but patients know when you adjust the right area at the right time in the right direction, most patients get off the table and say, whoa, that was different. So as a final thought, sure, you can crack your own neck, middle back, and lower back with the things that you watch on YouTube. I don't care, do what you want. But it's probably better to let a doctor analyze your spine, know when to adjust you, when not to adjust you, and to do it properly so that you get the best results and really get the benefit of what chiropractic has to offer, which is improvement of the biomechanics that affects the nervous system and all the relating things that come from that. And remember to give Bio-Optimizers a shout, look at their website, check out what they have to offer, get those enzymes, and start digesting food like a stud.